So thank you very much, Sana, for hosting us here in your office here in Barcelona. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Sana, you're the founder of Zeena, this very interesting startup about which we will talk about as soon as possible now. As usual, we start with some questions that are not related to business, to startup environment, just out of the pod questions. And so I have prepared a few. Are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Cool. I have two questions for you.
Okay.
So the first one, it's when you wake up in the morning, which kind of breakfast do you have? What do you eat?
I don't have breakfast. I
Okay.
just make a black coffee.
Okay.
It is because I'm used to have breakfast maybe around like 9, then lunch by 1. So I like not to eat much. I go to the gym or I do some yoga, and then I like to arrive to my breakfast very hungry. I feel like
Okay.
I like to wake up hungry, to like willing to eat the world, you know?
Okay. And so you're a fan of coffee, first of
Yeah.
all. Okay. What do you have a favorite kind of coffee or just?
No, just black coffee.
Okay.
I don't have any. No, I tried to move to the café de especialidad, it's the specialty coffee,
Okay.
because of my stomach. I feel like the difference. I'm not taking any more the capsules.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I just stopped because of the wage that you generate and I don't know, the quality of the coffee. So I moved
Okay.
to specialty coffee.
Okay, I see. As an Italian, I feel the coffee culture, so
Okay.
I feel you. Even if I don't drink a lot of coffee. I'm a tea person. But okay. And the second question I have for you is: are you a good chef?
I love cooking.
You love cooking. Okay. So what's the best
love
thing
cooking.
that you can cook?
I think it always depends on what I have in my fridge.
Okay.
I like and I love to take the most of the wastes I have in my fridge. So I love creating from the resources you have.
Okay.
So I can create anything I have in my fridge. I love to create from the resources I have. So it could be Asian food that I
Okay.
love. It could be Moroccan food because
Okay.
I am originally from Morocco. Did you
I
know
didn't
that?
know. I didn't know that.
Yes, I am originally from Morocco. So and my mom and my father, they were amazing cookers, and I love to maybe cook tagine.
And so let's create this kind of scenario. What's your, let's say, idol, inspiration, like a person that really inspires you? Do you have an example?
It's not famous.
Okay.
Actually, I have 2 people
Okay.
that they really inspired me
Okay.
a lot in my life. One is my mom.
Okay.
I think she's one of the strongest person I ever met in my life. She did her best to raise 4 kids, being immigrant, arriving to Barcelona, not speaking the language and not having anyone here to help
Okay.
her. So, and then I have my uncle,
Okay.
my brother's father. He's one of the best person I ever met in my life, and he became kind of my father. So I admire them so much.
Okay. And so let's say that you have them at dinner today.
Okay.
What do you make? What do you prepare for dinner?
Oh,
That's a challenge.
both of them are so demanding.
Yeah, that's the challenge.
Yeah, I think I could do for them something to surprise them. So no Moroccan
Okay.
food.
Okay, so you plot
Because
twist.
they are used to eat Moroccan food. So I could make for them maybe tuna tataki or like even like raw fish, because Moroccan
Okay.
people, we don't need raw food.
Okay.
They feel like when they see like sushi or this stuff, they're like, oh my God, how are you having this uncooked food? They don't accept this. So I might introduce them like raw.
This kind of okay. But what do you think will be the reaction?
Oh my god, probably not. Or no, I don't know. Maybe they could make the challenge. I don't know. They could try maybe.
Oh, for sure they will try.
Yeah, they are my guests, right? I think I don't know, but I think yeah, I would love to shake them.
Okay.
From the roots, from the traditions to something different, because they are not actually like Moroccan people who have been raised in Morocco and maybe immigrants like living in Spain from the second, third generation. They are not really travelers.
Okay.
We are used, it's not my case and the new generations, but as my father, my uncle, my mom, they were used, I'm sure you've seen so many cars with full of bags, like crossing from France, Italy to Morocco driving. And they don't spend the money outside Morocco or the country of living. Okay. So my family, they haven't tried maybe like foreign food, so I could just surprise them, cooking for them something different.
That's really good. And okay, so and now let's switch to more serious question, let's say. I want to ask you, given that you are a startup founder, no? Mm-hmm. And we will soon talk about Zeena, you will tell me a bit about your products and also your personal, let's say, background and experience. I think that as a founder there are many challenges in your work. We were also talking about holidays and you didn't take holidays because I mean work might be your let's say 24 hours daily routine. So I'm curious to know from you which is the thing that really motivates you and wakes you in the morning, so that really pushes you to wake up in the morning and go let's say to work because this is really what's important for you, what pushes you the most.
Willing to drive the change for the good. I think that inspiring little girls and women who are really willing to do something in their life, to tell them if I could, like you can. Okay. So yeah, that's my purpose and my driver. Every day.
So the purpose of inspiration and to also have an impact on people that might follow in you. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And so tell me a bit also about your background. So we understood your origins. Do you want to tell me a bit about, I don't know, your university studies? Where did you study? How do you enter the, let's say, work environment, a bit about your background.
I was born in Morocco. I came when my mom, she brought me when I was 2 weeks. We moved to El Raval, which is a very, have you heard about El Raval, a neighborhood in Barcelona?
Raval, okay,
Raval.
Okay.
It is quite...
yeah, I heard that it's also a kind of dangerous area, no? I mean, you should pay attention. You should pay attention.
A little bit, yes. When I was a child, it was crowded with Moroccan, Pakistanis, Filipinos, Spanish, but yeah, kind of conflicted area, a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, it is quite a lot. So I was raised there. I studied in different schools, getting scholarships because my mom, she couldn't afford to pay for school, and I switched from Escolapios to La Salle. Then I got a scholarship for ESADE. I did their business administration. Then I did my MBA some years after. But the first job I had was when I was 13 years.
Okay. Wow.
Teaching kids.
Wow.
Teaching kids. I started like teaching. I was so good like teaching. I like it. I started like teaching my teachers' sons, and then I started like cleaning houses. Then I moved to working in a bakery. Then as a waitress in the Ramblas and in some cafeterias. So meanwhile I was studying at the same time. But my first full-time job was on my 24th in Madrid in a
Okay.
consulting company. Then I switched to my MBA. I started with finance in UK, entrepreneurship when I was 24. And then I created my first company. I was 24, and it was challenging. It was really challenging in a country where we don't have this entrepreneurship maybe environment.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like 10 years ago, and the limitations and the boundaries to really make things happen was quite challenging. So we started this company, and after 2 years we closed it. Then I had the chance to start in a winery. After like hosting an event for Islamic finance in the Mediterranean with the Chamber of Commerce of Barcelona, a group of investors who landed in the wine region in Spain, they text me saying, hey, we saw you in this event, but we are looking for someone to run this winery. And I'm like from a Muslim family, like I don't know anything about wine. I just know how to drink it. And they started laughing, and they said, you don't need to know about wine, you need to know about business. And we need someone like young energy, like willing to make things big. And I said, well, okay, let's try. So I landed in the wine region in Perinet. It was 2013.
Okay.
And I quit in 2018 after 5 amazing years. I learned a lot. I love the industry. It really made me more human, because I was used to be like in the cloud, right? In the PowerPoints, just like working for consulting companies.
Consulting life.
Yeah, and then life turns you to throw you in the field where things really happen, like working in the nature. And for me, it was, I don't know, it just was an important moment in my life. It really changed a lot. So in the 18th, I quit because I really wanted to grow. I've been always ambitious, and I'm happy to share this. Like sometimes women, it seems that we it doesn't fit well in us if we say that we are ambitious, and I'm like, I am ambitious. So I had an amazing job. I loved so much working there, but I wanted something more. I wanted to grow professionally wise, and I got a scholarship to go to ESA in New York to do a master there. So I lived there for a while in New York, and then I saw the canned wine business in Whole Foods actually, and I got just like crazy. I was like, oh my god, what is this?
You like it in
canned wine. Yeah.
So you discovered it while you were in the US?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. Was my first approach to canned wine. I was like, actually, like 2 years before I quit the winery, I was planning to launch something, because I've been always entrepreneur, and I like just to build projects, and I am a builder. I'm used to say I'm not a manager, I am a builder. Like I have this passion to build, and this skill, like automatically you give me spreadsheet and you tell me what you want, and my brain starts like just putting things together in order to make them happen, no? But I try to do things different in the wine industry. But when you are in the wine industry, you know, it is traditional. It is about how can you be innovative in an industry where you have the bottle, you have the wine. What else you can do there, right? So I said, wow. When I saw the cans, I just thought the first thought in my mind was the beerification of wine. This is like beers, like anywhere where you can find a canned beer, let's introduce wine. How many moments of consumption we don't have wine in the beach, in the parties, like in campings, in the boats. I mean, you can have a glass of bottled glass, but it's dangerous,
and
right?
it's complicated also, as you said, for example, in parties, festivals, where glass is not allowed, for example.
Yeah. So when I saw the cans, I got just crazy, and I went to California looking for the cans. I asked the winemakers how they were producing the wine. I looked for the cans, like the filming that there is inside in order to know, is this like a Coke can or like a Red Bull can, or it's a specific can for wine? It's no, it's a specific can for wine. So I started like looking for them, and I got crazy. I put the project together, and then I had to come back because of the COVID, the lockdown. So when the world closed us at home, I was like, okay, it is my moment.
It's the moment.
The universe is telling me to sit down and just create everything, start this project. And it was in March 2020, and here we are today.
Amazing. And so you discovered this kind of passion for canned wine. But you also mentioned your first company. What kind of company was it?
It was called Pet Alive. It was an app that we used in order to help kids with autism to work in their cognitive skills. So we were working between the therapists, the family, and the child. So the child, really, we designed a beautiful pet, was a dog, so sweet. And these kids, it seems that they feel engaged and more attracted to listen to a dolphin, a horse, right? A dog than a human. So we designed this dog, and we figured out that these kids were doing their homework better with the app than with the therapist. So that was the first company.
And why did you? I mean, why do you think that it didn't work very well? Why you at the end you decided to move a step forward?
It was because it became it started, or we planned to build a business, and it became to become a social entrepreneurship. Where really, like in Spain, having a kid with autism, it is very expensive because public health is not covering the minimum therapy that these kids need. They need more attention, they need special education. And here in Spain, it is private, and the public system is just giving so low. So if you have two kids and you have a third kid with autism, or the first one was with autism, like you spend a lot of money in this kid. And having like an app where we define the SaaS, like the subscription payment, it was hard to us to really make it a business. And then we started like raising money from sponsors, and it was really hard, like to make things happen, build a company. And then when you start asking money for sponsors, somehow you need to work under their instructions.
Of course.
You don't have the freedom that I have now to say, you know what, guys, this is my business, this is how we're going to do things, and you are investing your money in my company, but it's me making the decisions. You know, so when you build a social project,
when you talk about sponsors, it's like investors, I don't know, like venture
the companies.
Other
companies using your logo in their social marketing image.
I see.
To say, hey, we are
that's
supporting
more complicated
this.
than a simple investment in equity or whatever. I see. Okay, really interesting.
So that's why. So we stopped. I got the job at the winery, and I was like, I told my team, hey guys, like my partners, we need the money. I've been like not getting any salary for the last, I don't know, a year maybe, and I need to start like paying bills, right, and stop asking for and begging people for money. So I started in the winery, and then the project slowly disappeared.
And so you started Zeena, but how, or let's say which very useful insights, content and knowledge do you think that you get from your experience, for example, in the MBA and the master that you did? How these experiences helped you to create your own company? Did it help in some ways, or not?
My experience in the past?
No, like the MBA that you did, the master. There were some specific.
I always encourage future entrepreneurs to work and learn from companies.
Okay.
I think when someone comes to me and leaving the school saying, I want to build this project and I want to do it, and I said, it is, wow, like good. Like if you have this attitude, I love it, because you want to build something from zero, and it's so encouraging. So you have to be very brave to do this. But have you had the experience of working, because it is quite amazing to have a degree, to have been able to go to the school, but you have to live like the real world. You have to see how many challenges a company has in the daily basis, how it is to get and face the no of the market, have seen like how people they quit from your company because they don't want to work for you or with you, like seeing how the company is suffering to get the bills paid. I mean, there are so many challenges you have in a company that you don't get to learn in the school. So you have to use the company first. Like you need at least, I've been working like almost like 8 years in other companies before I built Zeena, and it was because I learned a lot, and I felt myself on my 30s in this case. I said, you know what, I feel like I learned a lot in different businesses. I love this industry and I want to stay here. It is where I want to build my value and the future. So I picked the industry, I picked like the moment in my life, and I say, you know what, it is now. I feel myself prepared, because being the third company, because I built it Petrolife and then another startup that was a spin-off with a big corporate called Clinigram. For me, I never felt it as my own company, because we were like they were big sharps, and it was like the CEO trying to make something happen, but under so many people telling me what to do, and I never felt like my own company. I really had to work under indications, and I'm not good. Like if you have to tell me what to do, so many entrepreneurs we are in this way. Like I'm not good like reading like indications from people. So this second company, and then Zeena came, but I had first to launch different projects. I had to work in different companies. Studies, they helped me a lot. But I think the best for me has been working as a waiter in bars. Like the first contact I had with the market on my 16 was like serving coffees. Serving coffees, you get to know like the reaction of the client. You get to see how the same person changes in their mood every day, how someone who doesn't speak your language tries to tell you what they want. So you get to know the market, and I think that's why like young people, I'm all the time like saying, hey guys, anytime you can, start working. On your 16, just whatever you want to do, like in a waiter, as a seller, as a cleaner, as a teacher, whatever you want to do, like do something. You have to see
a concrete experience to put on the field what you also learn, for example, in class.
And just like feel yourself where you can make a value in the market. Why I'm gonna pay you back? Why? What do you have for me? What do you have to provide me in order to me to pay you, right? What's the value you have? And this is because you finish a degree.
Okay, I see. And now that you founded Zeena, thanks to all this combination and experiences, do you want to give like a pitch of what Zeena is, all the characteristics and let's say the value of Zeena overall?
I think Zeena was born willing to make a change in the beverage industry according to new trends of consumption from the new generations, willing to introduce the wine in new moments of consumption where the bottle of wine and the tradition doesn't fit, and being the revolution of the industry. We are revolutionarios. We like to shake the industry. We like to shake the different stakeholders that are running nowadays the beverage industry, the sugar companies, the beer companies, the wine producers, in order to let them know that new the lifestyle of the new generations is changing, our mindset is changing, and they have to change their mindset in order to introduce whatever they have been building for the last 30 years, because if they don't change, they will lose the new generations.
Of course. What is, in your opinion, the biggest challenge for Zeena right now in its development?
Get into the market.
Okay.
Because I never thought, after building a company, creating a product, registering the brand, creating your team, like that, in order to sell, you have to pay.
You have to pay. Yeah.
Right? So you get the contact of the bigger buyers, and they are like, oh, we like your product. It's really cool and it is good, and we like your packaging and the communication you're doing, blah blah blah. But if you want to be in the market, you have to pay, right? So I've never expected this. So now we are raising money again. It's our second fundraising during the last 2 years and a half, and most of it is in order to buy the market.
Okay, but is this happening to enter in the market specifically in Spain, or let's say you're also looking to other countries and facing the same issues?
In some countries, you need cash.
You need cash.
You need cash in order to get into the market, because they are like, you know what? I have so many products. I don't have much space.
But and Zeena, the goal is to be like a direct-to-consumer product, so available for all people, let's say, as well as for businesses, no? I guess.
Yeah, we are doing B2C and B2B.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The option to be only B2C, nowadays it's super expensive
and complicated.
So in order to attract your attention and making you buying from Italy a case of wine, it is very, very expensive. The cost of the click and my efforts in order for you to only purchase one case. So many startups, they really well done in the B2C, and they are making so much in this channel. But in our case, we really wanted to introduce Zeena and approach it to the market. We are not. I don't know how to say. You really need, in order for you to buy tomorrow in your house, you might need first to taste it.
Of course.
Right. So for me, the best way to do it was through the channel, the on-trade. So you go to your hotel, you go to a party, you go to the chiringuito in the beach, and you get Zeena there. So
to
you
try it and you get the experience.
And then.
And which market are you, let's say, forecasting, or you are already present in? So it's Spain.
It's Japan. Finland.
Okay.
And now we are introducing Zeena in Mexico, Colombia, and Peru.
May I ask you why Japan?
Yeah, so I don't know what happened. We never paid any marketing.
Okay.
It's
a quite complicated market, Japan. It's very perfect.
It's so easy. So people, they don't believe it, but actually the Japanese guys, they reach out to me on my chatbot on my website. They send a message saying, "Hey, hi, we are importers from Japan. We love your product. Do you have any distributor here?" And I go back to them. I was like, "This is from Japan. This is not a robot."
Yeah, exactly.
And I go back to them. We had a call. They were so sweet, amazing people, and it's been so smoothly and easygoing.
Probably, is it because I'm just thinking they have a kind of can culture of drinks? I don't know.
They almost have everything canned. Yes,
Yeah.
that's why the countries where actually this is an interesting question. And the countries where we are penetrating best are those where the can is very common, and wine culture is very low.
I
So
see.
when these two factors come together, it's a boom for the can wine.
Okay, and so here also starts my other question, because I think that one of the biggest doubts that might be talking and also presenting Zeena, I guess also to investors or also normal clients, might be related to the quality of putting wine inside a can. Like, is it a particular technology? People might say, okay, yes, but if it's always been a bottle of glass, why nobody did the can since today? What's the technology behind the can that continues to preserve the quality and the taste? Do you want to talk about it?
Yes. It happened in 2006, the first time that a winery, actually they patented the filming inside the can. It's the winery, it's called Baroque Wines. It's in Australia. They had the patent for 10 years until 2016, and then when they lost it was when United States, Canada, like the can wine just blow. When they work in this filming, there was a very big change, because some people, they said, hey, if it is that good, why it is now? Like, why now? Why never like happened before? And it's because the technology, we didn't have the technology, the filming, like when you had the can wine, you tasted the aluminum in your mouth, and it happens when you have a Coke or you have any other beverage in a can, you feel the can.
Yeah.
In this case, as we have this filming, it protects from the wine, so it keeps the wine in a very good state, but it has a shelf life. So when people ask like, is it expiring, the wine? I'm like, no, it's not the wine, it's the filming.
Okay.
So this filming has 12-18 months of life, and it depends, of course, on the quality of the wine you introduce.
And so you also need to manage in terms of stock and everything, the life of wine. Okay.
Yeah, we produce 4 times a year, and this is highly costly, but we make sure that you have the best quality wine possible. And because we are creating a new category, we are launching a new brand, it takes time. I mean, the can wine, it is quite new, right?
Yeah.
And people, most of them, they still haven't tried can wine, and they haven't seen any. So it is, okay, I can push my distributors in order to sell fast something that people still don't know that exists.
It still takes time to...
See, so this is why we are producing now 4 times a year, but maybe one day I will tell you, hey, I'm just producing once because everything is flowing. So one day, will come.
And in terms of communication, marketing, and creativity, what's your strategy? What's the best, in your opinion, for a startup as well as for a wine company? What's the, let's say, the pillars that you want to focus in terms of communication, marketing strategy?
In regards to B2C, in regards to B2B, or in regards to the brand?
In regards to the brand.
We are very focused on sustainability and convenience. When people ask like, what do you do? We sell convenience and sustainability. We don't sell can. We don't talk about like canned wines. We don't talk about like the product. And we talk about the freedom of willing to choose anytime you want a glass of high quality wine. Okay. So it is more about this, and that's what we want people when they see our packaging, which is like, so the communication is so clean, the marketing is very modern and fresh. It seems that we are very focused on young generations, but it is more about an attitude that you have in life. Okay. It is more about, you know what, I'm not judging. like the packaging or like the format, because it is more about the quality and the conscious that it is inside of this product. And I don't know, we look for this engagement with our audience, and people love the brand. So it's been like big challenge, but we love the connection we have with our clients, and it doesn't matter the age they have.
Yeah, that's
the most important. Yeah, because we are alcohol, right?
Yeah.
So and even when I see kids like seeing the cans, you're like, oh mama, this is so cute. I'm like, no, this is not the kids. But yeah. But I see 60-year-old women having our wines in restaurants in Madrid, as we have 25-year-old young people having our wines, and that was our strategy, to be wide in the population.
Okay, and I have also another question, and it's more related to a thing that you mentioned before, that is the financing part, because I guess that in general Europe for startups is not an easy environment, because for sure US there are a lot of financing, venture capitalists, while Europe, let's say the situation is much slower in terms of financing, and also, let's say, the culture of failure, so they accept failure in a different way. And I guess that, as in Italy, also in Spain, in terms of entrepreneurship and young startup mindset, there are still huge margins of improvements. How do you manage the fact that you're building a startup in Spain, and how you're doing it in terms of financing through your investors? Are the investors from Spain, from around Europe, somewhere else?
When we started was in 2020, and I started raising the money in June.
Okay.
And I finished in December. Well, it took me 6 months. I only had a PowerPoint, almost like it was just a PowerPoint, a great idea. But I wanted to make sure the first moment that I start like.
So you started to collect money before having the product?
No, I had first the MVP.
Okay.
I put all my my savings in order to at least produce 3,000 cans.
Okay.
That was my first production. I had the help from the winery, I had the help from the canning company, I had the help from the designers, like I didn't have money, and I had to beg, like, this is the project, this is the idea, and I really want to make sure there is a market out there willing to purchase this and purchase it back, right? Yeah. And have like 2 orders. I really need this, because I am not going to raise people money without making sure I tasted this before.
Okay.
So for me it was some, because it is the third company, and I really wanted to launch it and test it before I ask people for money.
Okay.
So I did this. I started raising in June, so I created my business plan and everything, but the money never came in until end of August. So from August and December, the money started getting in slowly. But the fundraising, like the business plan, and I started like moving around, asking people. Well, more than asking for the money, I was just going to these investors, sending them the business plan and the deck, saying, hey, I am working on this. What do you think as an investor? You've been in the industry, you know about the wine industry, so what do you think? Can you please give me your feedback? But I never asked them for money. And surprisingly, they were like, hey, can I invest?
Yeah,
okay. But I never went to ask for the money. You know?
Okay, I see. And what kind of investors did you find? Are there like important venture capitalists, angel investors?
No. I didn't want this because it was too baby. And when you are a small company, I don't recommend people to go to venture capital, banks, or anything. But, well, first, banks, they will never give you money.
Banks?
No. Because their risk management of the companies are completely different than the startups. Business, so they don't understand, and their policies they don't fit how a startup works. So I started with business angels. Most of them, they were like friends of friends, or like family members, or like the full friends and family, the 3 F's. I went there, I raised the first money, and then I closed ENISA. Have you heard about ENISA?
No.
It's a European loan with no guarantees that gives money to startups. So you don't need any guarantee, and it's amazing because they co-invest with you. So you have to demonstrate that you raised, for example, 500,000, and then they invest with you on a loan basis. This 500,000, charging you from 1% to 3%, I think. And you have 7 years to give the money back. So it is
let's hope that
big help. Yes. And now, after my second year, the banks, they started like listening to me and giving me loans. I'm like, okay, guys, now. So what has changed? I've been carrying with losses, like from my beginnings. I'm still like spending money, right? But they see at least how the sales are going on, and once you pass the second year, they move you from it's funny, from the risk department to corporate. So it's like, okay, now you're gonna listen to me and you will give me money. So yeah, it's been a long wait, but I think business angels are the best because you have to look for the smart money. It is not only about people giving you cash, it is more about the networking.
And the knowledge, the things that they can bring to you.
Yes, if they've been in the industry, the contacts they have, the learnings they got because they started before another business. That's what I really appreciate from all them. And now in this second fundraising, the ticket is changing. So in the beginning, I was very flexible to say, you know what, 5,000, it is okay. I will make a lot from this 5,000 euros, which is, I really like appreciate that you are giving me probably all the savings you have. In there's that is like nothing, but you really make, you sell a lot of shares for a very few money. And in this moment, as the valuation of the company has increased, we are selling few shares for a big amount of money. And the profile of my investors in the beginning were more family and friends, and in this stage they are more professional investors.
So they're changing the kind of
same.
So also at the beginning, also the family and friends got from the financing that they gave you some shares of the company since the beginning, no?
Yes.
Okay. Last question, and it's about because we talked about entrepreneurship. We talked about let's say business angels, feedbacks, networking. Which is the most important suggestion that you have received in your professional life?
Everything is possible.
Everything is possible. Okay.
Yes. If you have this in your mind and your mindset just clicks with the everything is possible, you really think, you really make things happen. You have this attitude where doesn't matter, like we are facing so many no's in the market. We are facing so many challenges. We are facing so many like barriers in order to do things and move forward. But that was from one of my former. Actually, was the best president of the winery where I was working. He's American Polish, and he told me this once, like, Sana, everything is possible, and it really make a click in my mindset. And I'm driving, even like people told me like no one ever will drink canned wine. How am I gonna keep the quality of the wine? We won some medals in United States and UK in blind tasting. So sommeliers are tasting our wine, saying, "Wow, this is much better than bottled ones." Like some of the bottled wines. So when I started this business, everyone was like, "No, you're not gonna make it." Like they are so negative around you. Because they don't want you to fail, right? It's not about the learning process of pushing you to make things happen. Just go and do it. No, they are like, oh, be aware, like you don't have the money. I started this company with 106 euros in my bank account. I didn't have any money. They were like, you don't have the money. You are not a winemaker. How are you gonna do it if you don't have like everything was a barrier in order for me to build my dream, which was like I wanna do this. I want to introduce wine in new moment of consumption. I want to be leading the market in the wine industry. Like I want to be one of those companies. And being a woman, being immigrant, not winemaker, without resources and everything, it's been just a big. But everything is possible. Everything is possible, and if you feel and you really commit with your purpose in life, and you build a company that fits your values, boom, it is just like boom.
And it's not the first time that I hear about this. Also, the notion of click. We also interviewed a few months ago the founder of Depop. Simon Beckerman, and he also talked about this click that you have, that maybe at the beginning nobody is understanding what you're doing, you cannot really communicate with investors, so you're receiving a lot of no, doors closing, but then it's when you keep pushing despite everything that at a certain point you have this kind of click where everything changes in some kind, and it becomes a kind of boom. Of course, then it's not easy to continue after the click. You will continue to have a lot of issues, but something changes.
Yes, but it's you like pursuing your why. You have to be convinced about why you are doing what you do, and even things doesn't work, you have to be committed with your goal, with your purpose, and keep going on there.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Sana. It was an amazing interview, and thank you also for inviting me here in your office.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Let's have a Zeena now.
Yes. Let's